There's a message inside of you. It's a message of love and hope that only you carry. No one else has what you have. So you are unique. Song of Songs, chapter 6, verse 9 says you are unique, you're chosen, and you're the only one for him. You're his favorite. How's that? Unique, chosen, and favorite. What were those three things I just told you out of Song of Songs 6, verse 9? You remember? Chosen, unique, and favorite. How does that make you feel as an author? So get that into your heart. You do have a message. It's the devil. It's the enemy that has tried to hinder you, postpone this book, try to keep you locked into one stage of your growth as an author. It's the enemy that's trying to gag you and mute your voice. Realize that you are chosen to give this, present this project to the world. You are unique. I couldn't write your story. Only you could write it. And you're his favorite. So your identity is not in how many copies you sell, but the fact that you're the favorite one. How does that make you feel? To know you're the favorite one of heaven. That's Song of Songs 6, verse 9. So God once wrote on tablets of stone. The finger of God wrote on tablets of stone. But now he writes his words upon tender hearts. He's writing. You're a living letter. You are a composition by the master author himself, the glorious God who has embedded inside of you revelation, insights, help. The pain you've gone through is for a purpose to help others in their journey. And that's what's driving you. I know you because I'm an author too. Okay. I'm with you. I'm in your tribe. I wrote, as a pastor, I wrote 6 books as a pastor. I didn't sell very many of them, but the people liked them and my family bought them. And I think we sold about 50,000 copies of 6 books, which is okay. But then now that I'm writing the Passion Translation, you got to realize for over 20 years, 6 hours a day, I am writing. Now my writing is probably different than yours in that it's somewhat technical, academic a little bit. It has those flavors to it, especially as I nuance the biblical text. But I'm still a writer. And I have now reached the milestone of nearly 2 million copies of books. That's everything that I've written. If you go to Amazon, there's over 100 titles. I don't know that that's bragging rights. I think that's like, I don't know. That's very caffeinated publishers is what I would say. They take virtually everything I do and this, if I put a Facebook post up, they end up wanting to make a devotional out of it. So I'm blessed. I have a wonderful publisher. They are godly. They love Jesus. They love me and I love them and it's family. And we're working forward into the unknown. And so you're connected now to unlocking your book. And you're got a team that's going to encourage you and inspire you. Now, I'm coming to you not as a editor, and now I'll let David Slutka, the master, the Yoda of editing, I'll let him do that. I'm coming to you as an author, as a writer, as one of you, okay? And I'm not coming to you as a publisher. Although I can give you, and I will at the very last of my time here today, I'm going to give you some publishing and editing hints that will help you immensely. But realize that layer upon layer, line upon line, Patricia tomorrow is going to bring another deep level of inspiration, encouragement, and insight as an author. And then, of course, David and the Yanceys and others that are going to be sowing into you. So I want everybody to write it out either in the chat or in your notes. I am a pencil in the hand of a writing God who will use me to send his message into the world. And if you want to make it 2023, I guess you would say, I am a keyboard in the hand of a writing God who will use me to send his message into the world. You reflect a part of God that no one else can reflect. It's a part of the mystery of who you are. Psalm 139, you're wonderfully, mysteriously, beautifully crafted. Before you came to be, before there was a you, God stamped his image, his glory, his creativity upon you. So you are a word that is sent from the mouth of God. Ephesians 1 verse 4 says that he chose you in love. The word chosen, eklegomai. I'm going to go fast, guys. Eklegomai, the Greek word ek is out from. It's a prefix. It means out of, out from. And then lego is a form of logos. You are a form of a word out from the mouth of God, sent into the world. You will not return to him void. Your message will be heard. Your book, your project, your life, your dream, your journey, it will impact many people. So just realize, if I keep encouraging you, and if it's too much, just say stop. I can't take it anymore. All right. But I want to keep encouraging you because you need encouragement. I know as an author or writer, I mean, I don't know if any of you are doing like, are going to write a project that takes 25 years, but that's what I'm involved with. I'm in a writing project that is like, thank God I finished Leviticus, hallelujah. But now I'm in Numbers. I'm in chapter 10. I've got to do the silver trumpets of Numbers. And one thing, and this is total parenthetic, all right? But one thing you all need is to do research. As an author, don't pretend you know it all about that topic. Get wisdom from others. Do research. I have to do deep dives into Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic. I have to research to make sure that what I'm saying is legit, valid, and within the boundaries of evangelical truth. So it's important that you, whatever you're doing, are you writing a story about your own life? You still need to do some research, do some creative writing. So I'm going to be giving you homework. Can we still be friends? And this is going to go into your author's folder. But I have 4 or 5 things I'm going to ask you to do. And none of them are that, come on, they're not like a research paper on the hypostatic union and kenosis theory, nothing like that. All right. But I do want you to write a paragraph and put it in your author's folder. And Jeremiah, will I have access to this? I hope I do. So I want you just to write a paragraph, and I want you to define the word creativity. Take the word creativity and define it. I chose that word because I want you to be creative. You're a creative writer. And as a creative, you carry, of course, the image of God. You're carrying something no other author is presenting. And don't worry, don't break the lie off of your heart that somebody else could do a better job. No, nobody else could do a better job in writing your story, the message you have. So understand that. Remember, chosen, unique, and the favorite. So as his chosen one and unique one, express that in creativity. Define creativity if it takes you 3 to 5 sentences, something like that. And could I say, tongue in cheek, be creative. Be creative. And don't go to chat, what is it? Open chat GPT or whatever it is, and have them write it for you. Don't go to AI and ask them to write it. We're the ones going to be writing it out of our heart. So the master artist lives in you. He's not wasted one stroke. I'm going to read something from a book, and then I want you to tell me what stands out to this. Now, remember, I'm coming to you as a writer. You'll get all the technical stuff, and I'll give you a little bit of that. But I read this years ago, and my jaw dropped. I go, I have never read such a creative expression as the first page of this book. It's called The Laughter of God. And I'm not necessarily recommending everything he says in the book, but I was stunned by the creativity of this writer. You ready? Deep in my soul, I heard the laughter of God, ringing in silvery cadences through the timbers of my being, breaking the human bonds and limitations as a strong yet gentle wind in the forest sweeps aside the strands of cobwebs. The hard, fast knots that I had tied slipped loose, and the snarls of beliefs broke free. The river of my human life, frozen by 1,001 false ideas and teachings, broke joyously into expression and went bounding to the infinite sea of life, to be lost and found at the same time. One dark cave of fear after another was illuminated by the light of this laughter, and swampy areas of sick thoughts were dried up instantly. Parched sands of hopelessness and futile efforts were drenched by the living waters, sucked in, absorbed instantly, like a wave breaking on the sands. God laughing at me and my puny efforts to make things happen, to make heaven appear, to attain the sonship, not the laugh of derision, but of infinite compassion, a laughter so deep and sweet, so pure and glorious that everything in the nature of my struggle gave way before it. Now, to write a book like that is kind of heavy. You can write a few paragraphs, but this guy is like, what an author, what a writer. Somebody, and tell me what stood out to you. He really connected. I mean, like the guy's 6 hours a day, 25 years, I'm writing, okay? So I guess I would be professional writer. I would qualify for that. And to read something that strikes me is rare, because I read a book a day. I read stuff constantly. I'm researching, I'm reading, blah, blah, blah. And when I read that, first of all, the title stirred me, The Laughter of God. I thought, oh, that's cool. What's he laugh at? Me and all my immaturities and all my insecurities and all the what do you call the swampy, sick ideas of false identity. You know, another thing, and I would say the same thing, Diane, that he used vocabulary that is understandable, but we don't always put them in a sentence like that. And he used words as grenades. Yeah. He used words as something that enlarged, opened, it stretched, even the sentence length was a little stretching for me. Mm-hmm. But you see what creative writing, what it can be like. Now, there's pre-writing, and then there's writing, and then there's rewriting. Okay, and some of you on your rewriting, you may need to go over to your thesaurus on your Word or PDF or whatever, and don't be afraid. Here's confession from the Passion Translation author. I use a thesaurus, but do not tell everybody that, because I want the Word of God to be that way. I want it to stretch to the original Hebrew is so poetic. It is brushstrokes on a canvas. It is not bricks that build thoughts. It's full of emotion. And anybody that tells you emotion has no place in a Christian's life, or that don't go by emotions, they need to qualify that, because that's not true. I would say don't only go by your emotions, but our emotional life is so important that it be inflamed by the Spirit of God, so that we can articulate the deepest. We push our thoughts out of hiding, and we put them right out before the people and articulate them in a way that's inescapable, that they're forced to ponder, consider, and to think. Because that's the way God deals with us. When he speaks one word, I'm telling you, one word from the mouth of God will last forever. I mean, it will endure in your heart. You'll be pondering it. Should the Lord speak audibly to you today, you will never forget what he said, and you will ponder his words for the rest of your life. And, none of us are God, and I'm not saying that we should be like that. However, do your words, is your writing gripping, compelling? Is there a hook? And I remember working with one author, it was his first book, and he had his chapters mixed up. I said, put the second chapter first, and you're going to hook them. Because the first chapter was so boring, I couldn't hardly read it. Make your point right at the front end, like Song of Songs, kiss me. Whoa, baby. And you know what Jesus' first words? Blessed are the pure in heart. Bless. Why? Because he came to bless. So, first impressions matter. As an author, go back to that first page and take your definition of creativity and rewrite it and make it so gripping. And I'm not asking you to do it for the 180 pages, because man, you'll get so exhausted. But for that first page, or even that first chapter, make it so dramatic that they cannot put it down.